Hey y'all, Ree here. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you so much for checking me out. It's a spoiler alert. Y'all already know how we do. Now today we talking everything Average Joe. So if you haven't watched Average Joe yet, it is on, I want to say Paramount Plus. But just know that I'm talking about everything. So Average Joe is back. Apparently, being average still means fighting for your daggone life every 15 minutes because, listen, Joe Washington and them have gone international, child. Now, this season, we're in Cape Town, South Africa. We got stolen heroin, secret siblings, dead messengers, a maniacal South African crime boss, Joe's dad leaving scavenger hunt clues from what Joe thought was beyond the grave, child. Leon lying to him, Kathy still being Kathy, and somebody gets their ass whipped, child, before episode 2 even goes off. So, baby, we got some stuff to discuss. Now, before I even get into it, Cape Town is absolutely breathtaking. It's stunning, gorgeous, cinematic. The landscapes, the people, the scenery, it's just postcard worthy. The music, the soundtrack to this show, whoever is handling the musical choices, I need to know who they are because the soundtrack combined with the action and the way that these scenes are edited is definitely working for me. But first, okay, how did we get here? Quick refresher, if you haven't seen season 1 or if like me you need to remember what happened. We have Joe Washington, who was played by Deon Cole. He is your regular blue-collar worker living in Pittsburgh. He has his wife, Angela, his daughter, Jen, who I believe is maybe high school or a senior or about to be college age. No, she's grown. I believe she's grown. But she's a young lady. So Joe's dad supposedly died. This is how it all started. His dad supposedly died. His dad had tire or trucking business, and he also had a secret criminal life, child. So Joe discovers this after his death, and he discovers that his dad done stole $10 million, heroin, a Lamborghini, child, seemingly from the Russian mob. And some background on Joe and his dad. Their relationship is very weird and strained. Joe pretty much spent his entire childhood getting prepared for this foolishness that we watching right now. He would take Joe in the woods, basically give him a compass and a prayer and be like, find your way home. As a little boy. One day he did it. Joe got home too late and Joe's mom had died. Now, one thing I want to say about Joe's crew that I mentioned, Leon, Kathy, he got another best friend named Touch. They are not the Avengers, child. So this makes it definitely makes it into the dark comedy that the genre says that it is. Now, again, we got Touch, Joe's cop friend who struggled with substance abuse in the first season. We got Leon, Joe's other best friend. And every time I look at Deon, I see like Dave Chappelle, but like with like a fatter face. So Deon is married to Kathy, and Kathy, every time I say her name, I'm probably gonna roll my eyes because she a whole another conversation. Me and Kathy would have been knocked up by now. My problem is she the reason we in half this mess. Cause in season 1 they found a mill. They ended up finding $1 million. Now, normal person who's just been chased, kidnapped, because a whole lot of stuff happened on the way to them finding this $1 million. Shot, almost murdered over money. You would think they'd be like, let me take this mill, let me chop this mill up in between us and go sit my behind down somewhere. But honey, not Kathy. Kathy was like, nah, they said 10 mil. Where the other 9 mil? So because she loves her true crime shows and apparently believes that she personally works for the FBI, child, she keep digging. And she eventually uncovers the fact that Joe's dad has a whole heroin operation. He figured out how to turn the heroin into liquid. So Kathy decided that instead of leaving this criminal enterprise alone, let's sell the heroin. So Leon goes along with it because when it comes to Kathy, Leon is spineless. Their drug deal goes horribly wrong. The man Kathy's dealing with turns out to be undercover DEA or something like that. Kathy ends up getting shot because Leon ends up, she does the drug deal with the guy, but Leon is following them in another car, unbeknownst to the drug dealer. So Kathy ends up getting shot. Leon goes shoot him after he shot Kathy, and then come to find and then see the badge. So that brings us to the season 1 cliffhanger, and we see Joe opening the door like, oh dear God. So what that was him opening the door to Leon, shot Kathy, and a damn veterinarian child. So, and I need to give a big shout out to Delaware, because Leon is, or either Leon or Joe is talking about, oh yeah, the veterinarian, he Pakistani or something. And that man is like, nah, I'm from Delaware. So that's right. Put some respect on the first state's name. All right. So after everything this family went through, Angela, Joe's wife, ended up bouncing with Jen. Like, you know, at the end of the first season, you see him reading a Dear John letter or whatever, and her and Jen leave. She takes Jen somewhere where she thinks is safer, because Jim is pregnant by the daggone Russian mob boss's son child. So somebody ended up finding them, so it wasn't as safe as they thought. And what happens is they receive a mysterious letter that contains photographs, and Kathy, with her TV law brain, figures out that it's coordinates connected to it. So the coordinates lead to Cape Town, South Africa, child. So we off. Joe touch Leon and Kathy, get to Cape Town, rent a car, and they head straight to the coordinates. Now I'm looking at these cats standing fully clothed in the desert digging. So somebody comes riding up. He knows that it's Joe. He's apparently there to deliver a message. And before this man can even properly explain what he's supposed to tell him, pop. A sniper shoots him directly in the head in the middle of the desert in front of Joe and them. So that part, I'm not totally ruling the dad out. And just follow me for a second. Because at this point, I don't really trust that he's dead. I don't trust him, period. The way he did Joe when he was a kid. This man, they in South Africa, like, it's too much. So it's like, welcome to Daddy's South African escape room. Game on. They take what they can from the dead messenger. Eventually, they track down where he lives. So they go to his house. They find clues, including a photograph connecting him to some white man who owned a bar. So off we are to the next daggone clue, child. They locate the man. He already knows everybody's names. So it turns out that him and Joe's dad, the guy's name is Billy G, the bar owner. Him and Joe's dad were really good friends. He told Joe that his dad saved his life, blah, blah, blah. But here comes the important information. He told Joe that his dad was there just 6 weeks ago. Joe, like, my dad died like 3 months. What are you talking about? My dad is dead. Dog, he's not dead. Your dad has apparently been traveling the world, setting up the Amazing Race Childhood Trauma Edition, Joe. So Billy G is explaining that, okay, you know, his role in getting that mysterious message to Joe's family. He explains that, and we can tell that the murdered messenger, the boy who came to deliver the message to them, meant something deeply to Billy G, because they showed photographs of them two together. Billy G has that same photograph in his drawer that they found at the boy's house. And I don't know if it was his son, his boyfriend, partner, whatever. We just know that the man loved them. So enter the maniacal South African crime boss, child. His name is Cypho. This is our villain for season 2. He is crazy. He not playing. He's looking for his heroin. And the first clue that we get to that is we see that it's this horrifying scene. He got an entire family in his backyard by the pool. Who took my drugs? Who took my drugs? He's asking the patriarch. He's asking the dad. And the scene pretty much tells you everything you need to know about Cypho. Cypho is a psycho. People are drowning, children are dying. He wipes the whole family out. And the craziest part is the man ain't even steal the damn heroin. So he just killed the man and his whole family for nothing. Apparently, Joe's dad and Billy G stole the damn heroin, child. So eventually, him looking for the heroin, it does take him to Billy G. The same man who just, like I said, learned that his loved one or, the messenger was murdered. And Billy G already knows what's coming. He's sitting there drinking, he's grieving, and he basically admit, like, yeah, we took your drugs. So Cypho kills him, and the kill was crazy. He got this little, it's not a small knife, but he got a little knife, he cut in his throat. He's like, nah, I'm gonna take his head. Huh? Hello? So, and there's another man that's investigating. We see he's investigating the murder of the young boy in the desert that was carrying the message to Joe and them. So he also, we see, going through the crime scene. He eventually reaches his home, the same place that Joe, Kathy, Touch, and Leon went. And he sees the damn soda can that Leon left behind. So he put that in so he can get some fingerprints on it. And Cypho's people are following the clues, so now they're tracking Joe because there was a instance where Joe and them went somewhere, and one of Cypho's henchmen stole the rental car that had all their passports and everything in it. So with all of that, we also find out that Joe finds out that his dad had another family. So following the ridiculous breadcrumb trail that his dad has left him, it brings him to his long lost sister, whose name is Imani. So Joe is still operating under the belief that his dad is dead. And Imani is like, dead where? That cat dropped me off here 6 days ago and told me don't go nowhere. So now Joe has to process all of this. In the midst of all of that, like I said, Cypho's after everything about them. So he's already going to kill Billy G. So now he's after Joe's dad. So somebody tries to break in and kill Imani, Joe's sister, while Joe and them is there, like, finding out all this new information. So, child, they are just running for their lives. Like I said, Joe's processing the secret money, the secret drugs, the secret criminal associates in South Africa, Russia, now a sister. Even he ends up finding a phone or whatever at Billy G's, and even that has trauma connected to it. He has to figure out the password to get into it. He's trying birthdays, important dates, nothing. And then it finally clicks to him. The password was tied to the amount that Joe paid for his mother's tombstone, because when his mom died, his dad was like, I ain't getting her no tombstone, she did already. So the one and only time Joe worked for his dad's business was then, where he was trying to scrounge up the money to get his mom a tombstone. So child, the damn password was the exact amount of the tombstone. This man does not communicate normally, okay? He communicates through Joe's traumas. So that's why all these puzzles feel so sick to me. Even when they're ultimately leading Joe somewhere useful, his father trained him through fear and pain as a child, and now he's still making adult Joe use those memories to solve this sick game. So Imani ends up explaining that she and the dad operated like a boat and or a fishing business. So of course they head toward the boat because of course we know this cat has left more clues. So Kathy ends up creating a diversion to lead the guards away while Joe, Touch, and Leon get on board of one of the boats. And naturally, everything goes to hell. It's a shootout, it's fighting, people is running, trying not to die. Boom, it's an explosion. Everybody in the damn water. But this is another place where Average Joe works for me. I've watched a lot of, y'all know, I watch a lot of TV. I've seen some shootouts, I've seen some explosions, I've seen people get their asses whipped, but this show finds ways to make the action feels like it's average Joe action. Like, this show is one of one, in my opinion. I really hope that you guys, if you haven't, go back and watch season 1, start season 2. Let's support our boy Deon Cole, y'all. Like, the kills are different in the show. The music is different. The humor is threaded through moments where people are legitimately in danger. And it's violent as hell, but it's so funny. That combination is difficult to pull off, in my opinion. Even reviews of season 1 specifically recognize that strange balance between crime thriller tension and morbid dark comedy. So it's worth the watch, y'all. Now, after the boat sequence, Imani's reaction when she realizes that Joe survived really, really stood out to me. They just met, but already she's so emotional about the fact that he, survived. And when we get these little details showing how much of, like, their father they both are, like, we see that Joe's and Imani's dad loved the Pittsburgh Steelers. So both Joe and Imani know these obscure Steelers facts because of him. It's almost like they're comparing scars and memories without realizing that that's what they're doing. Different countries, child, different lives, parallel. Excuse me. So Imani ends up taking everybody to the aunt's house, and she's basically like, Auntie, I'm in trouble. Have you seen my mom and dad? So apparently the dad is alive and he's living there. They've been living as a family, child. So Auntie looking at Joe like, in the crew, like, who are these? Like, come on, but who are these cats? And Imani is like, Auntie, that's Joe. Of course, they probably know about this man's other family. So she's like, Joe. So she ends up letting everybody in. They finally go wash up, eat, rest, change clothes. She only has, donations for, people, the less fortunate, for them. So it's all donated African attire is all they have to wear, because, again, Sypho's henchmen stole their rental with all their things in it. And again, the environment, the scenery of South Africa is just breathtaking, just gorgeous in the show. And I'm going to put a little pin beside Auntie and Touch, because there seems to be a little something going on there. I'm not calling anything yet, but Touch seems to be enthralled by Auntie, child. And Auntie clocks that Touch is carrying a gun almost immediately. Now, that night, Joe can't really sleep. He's like, look, Daddy done left more homework. I need to get through this. So the phone, the explosion in the boats, blah, 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 end up happening. They all end up in the water. So the phone gets wet. He has like a microchip that gets wet. When they get there and she lets him in, he asks the aunt to put that in rice. So he's up. The stuff has been sitting in rice for hours. He gets the device working. He plugs the device into the computer, and there's a video. Baby, Kathy and Leon are on the damn video. So remember all that investigating Kathy was doing. Remember the heroin. Remember how her and Leon was operating separately from Joe in that respect to get the rest of them millions. So the video was pretty much showing that Kathy and Leon knew way more than they admitted. They connected Joe's dad to another identity and name through travel information and tickets. Kathy had located where the huge stash of heroin had been kept and discovered that it was gone. So this was a video of them discovering that it was gone. And Joe's dad name is Teddy. She's like, that damn Teddy, whatever. So Joe's watching them, and we know that's another clue that Teddy was still alive, because he put the camera there. He made sure Joe got that video so Joe could see that his so-called friends knew about the heroin and all the stuff that he's just now discovering. They had already knew about some of it. So he looking at that video, knowing that Kathy and Leon had been doing their own investigation into the drugs and the money all along and hiding it from them. So in that moment, Joe was realizing that Leon been lying to his face. And the best part is Joe is sitting there watching the video. We think he alone watching the video. We think everybody's still resting. You know what I'm saying? It's been a crazy few months. But the video ends, and from behind him, we hear Leon's voice talking about, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, shoot. So Joe ended up getting up, whipping Leon's ass. And I mean, he was zips his ass. Joe gets up, and like I said, he's beating the heck out of Leon. And even this didn't feel like some generic TV fight to me. I just watched Marv whip Kanan's behind on TV, and somehow I'm still sitting here completely invested in this ass whipping that Joe is giving Leon. Joe is beating years of lies, daddy issues, stolen heroin, secret investigations, and Cape Town jet lag out of this man. And Leon, child, this is why I keep calling him spineless, because half this mess traces back to your wife saying, let's do this, and you saying, okay, baby. You feel me? And here comes damn Kathy. Joe beating Leon up. Kathy pulls a gun, puts it to Joe's head, basically saying, hit my husband again and I'm going to kill you. Oh, let me on season 3 as your twin, Joe, so me and Kathy can have a standoff. Because ain't nobody hurt this lady yet, and somebody needs to. So before Kathy can get comfortable with that gun to Joe's head, Touch puts his gun to Kathy's head. And basically like, you ain't killing them. Thing. So after that, cut to black. That's the episode. They dropped episodes 1 and 2 Thursday. So what y'all think? If y'all watched it, let me know what y'all think. It's the Kathy of it all for me. Like, she's self-serving, she's manipulative. And I notice how she behaves differently when she identifies something who might be useful to her. The way she got close to Jen last season. The way you kind of see her getting close to Imani in these first couple episodes of season 2. Now, Joe discovers Imani is his sister. Suddenly, Kathy is pushing up on Imani. Make herself seem supportive and close, but really rolling her eyes behind all the hugs. And I'm watching that. Because I always feel like with her, it's another angle. She pushed Leon towards chasing the rest of the money. She pushed the heroin scheme. She kept information from Joe. And when the consequences finally reached Leon, now you want to put a gun to Joe's head. Ma'am. Season 2 has 8 episodes left. Somebody punch Kathy before I get my own ticket to Cape Town, honey. Please. My take after episodes 1 and 2, I'm in. I'm all the way in. I was in the first season. Season 2 premiere August 19th with, again, like I said, 2 episodes. The official description promised a bigger international adventure through Cape Town with Joe, Leon, Kathy, and Touch being chased by assassins, bounty hunters, and powerful enemies. So these first 2 episodes weren't easing us into anything. I do appreciate that. Again, and I cannot and will not say enough. I appreciate the scenery of South Africa. The action feels fresh. The soundtrack is hitting. The kills are creative. And the comedy still works. But underneath all the insanity, there's a surprisingly serious story about fathers, children, secrets, betrayal, loyalty, and what parents leave behind in us. And Deon Cole, I'm proud of my boy. This is really a nice body of work for him, and he's not only starring in it. Deon Cole is an executive producer on season 2 as well. So kudos to you, sir. This show doesn't feel like much else I'm watching right now. It's a dark comedy, crime thriller, family drama, and action show all in one. And somehow that crazy ass combination works for me, child. So if y'all know something currently on TV that gives this kind of energy that I'm neglecting, because I'm saying that to me, Average Joe is a one of one, please put me on, because I'll watch it. And Deon, listen, Homeboy, I did email your agent. And me and my aunt had a little chuckle about it too, because I told her, I was like, I did email Dion's agent and to see if I could get a little 5-10 minute interview. Word, I did. And my aunt was like, you and your little 20 subscribers. Meanwhile, Dion probably doing a press run on a press junket at Good Morning America, The View, all these places. And you thinking he gonna come to Cherie K. Montgomery and do one day one of these celebrities, one of these shows I'm recapping is gonna holler at me and let me ask him a couple questions for y'all. Like I said, Dion, I could play your twin, dog. Nah, I'm just joking, though. But, listen, I'm proud of this show. I'm excited for this show. I hope you guys watch the show, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Thank y'all for coming back.